Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Ninja Nerd Warrior show. And I feel like I'm Troy McClure, and I should be like, hi, I'm Greg. You might have seen me in such shows as Schedule for One Fall and All Things Film. So here's what we're doing here is I'm working with Wasp Nest because I've had my own podcast for about 2 years now. It's called the Ninja Nerd Warrior Podcast. You can look it up on YouTube. And since I'm working with Wasp Nest on a lot of their projects, I pitched the idea to them, hey, why don't we take my podcast, turn it into a video show? Okay, so it's kind of the best of both worlds, the best of Ninja Nerd Warrior and the best of Wasp Nest videos. So that's kind of how this idea came to be. All right, so I have a couple ideas. What I wanted to do for this first show, I wanted this to be the biggest stories, in my opinion, of 2018. 2018 is coming to a close, so what were the biggest stories? And like I said, these are just my opinion. If you disagree with me, obviously, you're entitled to it, but these were just the ones that kind of got my attention. All right, so first story is, I kind of hate to start on this, but it's the biggest story of 2018, which was the loss of Stan Lee. And I don't think anybody who considers themselves a comic book geek, anybody who's seen what the Marvel Cinematic Universe has become, has not been affected by Stan Lee's death. And I know that, guys, I go way back. And when I was 3, I was a huge Spider-Man fan. They had this show in the 70s, which was fucking god-awful. But I'm very sentimental. It was the first Spider-Man I ever watched. And it sucked because I thought I was Spider-Man. I used to pretend I was Spider-Man. And the part that sucked was that I would get people walking up to me when I was like in my 30s. Friends of my parents would be like, I remember you when you were Spider-Man. Go fuck yourself. It was 27 years ago, okay? We've moved on. But that's how big of a Stan Lee geek I was. And I mean, I watched the 1970s Spider-Man, actually going back to the 1960s cartoon. You had the Incredible Hulk TV show, with Bill Bixby. And I mean, I grew up on those things. And then you look at what he's done now. He came up with Iron Man. He came up with Daredevil. He came up with a Fantastic Four. And it really sucks to kind of see and to lose an icon like this, of Stan Lee's caliber. And we're recording this on the 28th. Yes, it was 28th, 29th?
It's
29th. Okay. Yesterday was Stan Lee's birthday. We lost him a little over a month ago, and it was right before his 96th birthday. So I had to talk about it. You can't talk about the biggest stories of 2018 without discussing the loss of Stan Lee. So, Stan, if you can hear us, we love you. We do. All right? Now, let's cheer things up a little bit. We'll move on. We have Black Panther. Black Panther was huge for setting up the Marvel Universe. All right? It was that one piece that everybody said that was missing. All right? There wasn't a lot of diversity in the comic book movies today. And Black Panther filled that. I have a couple nitpicks, though. Okay? Because they said Black Panther was the first black superhero. Did you guys miss Blade? Because Blade was doing this shit back in the 90s. Okay? So let's not get ahead of that. But here was the part that pissed me off. All right, so Black Panther, Chadwick Boseman, Michael B. Jordan. And here was the part. Everyone told me what a great movie this was, and I had to go see it. And I didn't get to see it till about a month in. And I went, what is this bullshit? Hold on. Okay, so Chadwick Boseman, phenomenal as T'Challa, okay? It showed you Wakanda, it showed you this different world, which was fantastic. Here was my problem. Michael B. Jordan playing Killmonger shows up, whoops T'Challa's ass, beat him fair and square to be the king of Wakanda, and T'Challa's subjects went, no, fuck this guy. And I'm going like, does nobody see the error here? Like, Killmonger's not really a bad guy. His dad was killed. He shows up to claim what is rightfully his, takes it without cheating. He beat the king in a fair and square fight to the death. Okay, T'Challa didn't die, but that's semantics. But you had one of these fights earlier in the movie. Dude shows up, T'Challa beats his ass, T'Challa's the rightful king. Killmonger shows up, beats T'Challa's ass. Well, no, fuck that. No, the script says T'Challa. We have to overthrow this guy. And I'm like, it's kind of a dick move. Maybe, just a little bit. But, so anyway, but other than that, I thought the movie was great. It had Denai Guerrero in it from Walking Dead. You know, for those, she's a phenomenal actress. I love her as Michonne. I've loved her since season 3 when they brought her in. But to see her in this role, she's still that kick-ass female warrior, but in a totally different world. And she's fantastic in it. So I love to see her there. This movie was huge because, let me see, opening weekend, $202 million. This opened at $202 million. To this day, total gross, I get all my numbers from Box Office Mojo. So if you want to double check me on these. Total gross, Black Panther has made worldwide $1.3 billion. So, I mean, it's a great opening. It's a great start for a very new property. All right, so I thought first time out of the gate, Marvel swung for the fences, and boom, it was perfect. And it sets up what's going to come up a little bit later. So, okay, so we'll move in, and next, basically tease for things to come. Next biggest story was Andrew Lincoln leaving The Walking Dead. Now, I'm a huge Walking Dead fan. I have been I've been there since season 1, first episode. All right. Admittedly, I wasn't real big in the comics. I had heard of it. I heard it was a great show. I just heard it was a zombie comic, and started in 2000. I want to say. I want to believe 2000. And so, when I heard that AMC was licensing the rights to the show, all right, let's check this out. All right. And I don't care what anyone says. The show is fucking great. Love this show. But I get people who tell me all the time, like, comics better. No, the show sucks. Comics better. All right. These are the comic book version of the book was better. You know, and I love the show. I love the way they make you. I think the reason people don't like this show is they wanted a 1-hour zombie movie every week. We can't do that. All right, it's really hard to do that because in order for me to care about who the zombies are killing, I have to know them. I have to give a shit about them. Otherwise, it's just zombies fucking nom-nomming their way through these nameless actors. And I think that's what Walking Dead does, is it sets up these characters. It gives you a reason to care. It shows you who they are. It shows you where they came from. It shows you, you know, what happens to people when the world goes to shit. And Andrew Lincoln was the face of this show. He was the one that, what do you do when you wake up and the world's done? What happens when everything you see, everything you know is gone? And he did what I think any of us would have done, which was he tried to find what was most important to him. His family is still out there. He needs to find his family. And in finding his family, people said, all right, that's it. You're in charge. And Rick was like, fuck, I don't want to do this shit. You know, like any of us. Rick just said, like, I was just trying to find my wife and kid. I don't fucking care. But Rick, being a good dude, is like, fine, I'll fucking do it. You know, and I thought he was a great character as to what would you do when the world goes to shit. And he announced last year that season 9's my last season. I'm done. And this is kind of where I go off on a tirade. Okay? Fuck Scott Gimple. I'm just saying that out, you know, off the top of my head. Fuck Scott Gimple. Here's why. Scott Gimple was a showrunner for Walking Dead since, I want to say almost since the beginning. I might be wrong on that one. But Scott was in charge of the show during its high points. All right? Now, for any of you who know, when they killed off Glenn the first time, Glenn's died 3 fucking times. The first time they killed him, it was a bait and switch. They were swerving their audience. They made you think he was dead, but they brought him back 3 episodes, 4 episodes later to show you how he made it. Okay? Here's where I said, fuck you, Scott Gimple. They kill off Glenn. 30 minutes later on Talking Dead with Chris Hardwick, Gimple's there, and Gimple says, well, you know, we're going to see Glenn at some point in the future. In some way, we're going to see him. The fuck? Scott, what the fuck, dude? Seriously, like, Scott Gimple's the guy that shows up at your Christmas or your Christmas present, your Christmas party, hands you a present and says, I got you a Blu-ray player. Can I unwrap this fucker first and see what you got me? Dick. Like, and then 3 episodes later, 4 episodes later, whatever it was, Glenn just shows up because he wasn't dead. Now, imagine the perfect world if Gimple had shut the fuck up and just, yeah, you know, we loved working with Steven. Steven's great to work with. Like, don't even talk about Steven in the past tense. Just sit here and go, yeah, Steven's a great actor, and, you know, he's always there. We always love working with him. He's a consummate professional. And then 4 weeks later, when this guy fucking shows up and everyone's going, Glenn's not dead. How great would that have been? But Gimple shows up and like, yeah, no, Glenn's coming back. We're gonna... You motherfucker. Okay, so that was Fuck Scott Gimple season 4. All right, fast forward to Fuck Scott Gimple season 8. He kills off Carl. Now, now I will preface this by saying I've never met Scott Gimple. Scott could be the nicest guy in the world. All right, I'm not saying he's a dick. He just does dickish things. And one of those dickish things was he kills off Chandler Riggs' character. Kills off Carl Grimes. I don't know why. Because in the comic, Carl's still around. As a matter of fact, Carl's kind of the heir apparent to take over when Rick's no longer there. Okay? Makes sense, right? So, Scott calls up Chandler and says, yeah, we're killing off Carl. Now, did I forget to mention that he called up Chandler and told him they were killing him off on Chandler's 18th birthday? It was his fucking birthday. And he gets this call saying, oh, by the way, you're fired. I know you just bought a house in Savannah, Georgia, but you're fired. And I went, fuck Scott Gimple. Like, dude, that's strike 2. That's fucking strike 2, you cocksucker. And I'm going like, why? Why do you, okay, I understand everyone's up for grabs. That's the universe we've set up. I get that. I'm fine with that. Okay? You fired the guy on his birthday. I've been broken up with on my 1-year anniversary. I get it. I really, and it was 5 days for my birthday, now I think about it. Fuck her. But, so, I mean, that's kind of a dickish move. But shit always rolls downhill. And when Andrew Lincoln found out that Chandler Riggs was fired, now, Chandler Riggs has been on the show since he was 9 years old. Andrew Lincoln has said that he is like a surrogate kid, you know? He's watched his kid grow up over 9 seasons, so as soon as he finds out Chandler Riggs is fired, Andrew Lincoln goes, fuck it, I'm done. I'm done. And in season 8, they killed off Carl in the mid-season finale of season 8. So halfway through season 8, Andrew Lincoln says, yeah, I'm not coming back next year. And everyone lost their collective shit. Everyone went, whoa, whoa, whoa. How the fuck do you have this show without Rick Grimes? And sure as shit, Andrew said, you know what? I'll give you the first half of season 9. Write me out by the mid-season finale. And Andrew Lincoln bowed out. He was a pro about it. He just said, I don't want to be here anymore. I've been here 9 years. I live in London. And I want to go back and, I'm tired of spending 3, 4, 5 months at a time, however long they're filming, in Atlanta when my wife and my kids are in England. So he just said, it's been fun. I appreciate it. Thank you for everybody. And I'm out. And they wrote Andrew Lincoln out. Now, but here's the part that everybody lost their shit. They're going to kill Rick Grimes. Holy shit. They're going to kill Rick. And AMC built this up for months. The last episodes of Rick Grimes. The last episodes. And everybody's just sitting there just like freaking the fuck out. Like, how are they going to do it? Is Rick going to die? Rick's not going to leave. But wait, they said he's not coming back. So here's what happened. Rick got bucked off a horse, landed on a 4-foot piece of rebar that just pierces him right through, ironically, where he got shot in episode 1, so props for that. And Rick spends the rest of his last episode hallucinating. And it was a great recap because you got to see John Bernthal again. You got to see Herschel. You got to see Scott Green again, Scott Green passed away last year too. So to see him that one last time was just kind of, because he was everyone's dad. He was every Walking Dead fan's, that was like your surrogate dad, Herschel Green. To see him one more time was just like, well, fuck. But you got to see all these people come back to kind of give their farewell. It was really cool. And in the end, Rick he gets off the rebar, he's getting chased by this herd of walkers, and he's trying to lead them away from the camp. He figures, we'll blow this bridge. They all just tumble into the water. Safe, right? Rick blows the bridge, gets flung 100 yards, 200 yards, survives, because it's fucking Rick Grimes. He's picked up by a mysterious helicopter and zipped away. The fuck? So, you didn't kill Rick. He's just been kidnapped in the zombie apocalypse. Okay. Fuck it. Let's go with it. All right. But it was really sad to see Andrew Lincoln go. Like I said, he's been with us 9.5 seasons. So, yeah, that was to me, that was kind of a punch in the soul. But it's really interesting to kind of see where the show's going since then. Because they did this time jump, and it's been 6 years since they think Rick died. So I'm kind of interested to kind of see, like, okay, well, where does this show go without Rick? So we're in the mid-season hiatus right now. I believe the show comes back in February. And so we'll kind of see how it does. They just introduced the Whisperers, which I'm stoked. I'm so fucking stoked about the Whisperers. So, but yeah, we'll see how that plays out because I'm really interested in that one. Third biggest story last year, Venom. So, Venom, for everyone, the big Spider-Man fans, Venom is Spider-Man's, that's his Joker. That's the nemesis that everyone's like, dude, this guy, this is the fucking character. Sony gets in bed with Marvel, the Marvel Studios, and they said, tell you what, we'll do joint licensing. You let us use Spider-Man in Avengers. We'll send Kevin Feige, We'll send Kevin Feige over to make sure your Spider-Man movies don't suck like they did before. And everybody's happy. Okay, Spider-Man Homecoming comes out. It's fucking great. Except for one problem. I had one problem with Spider-Man Homecoming. I shouldn't want to fuck Aunt May. You cannot cast Marissa Tomei as Aunt May. We should not want to bang Aunt May. Aunt May should look like... she shouldn't look like Marissa... What was the last thing you saw Marissa Tomei in? What was the last thing?
Oh God, I don't remember. Was she in The Wrestler?
She was in The Wrestler as a stripper.
Oh, yeah.
We had naked Marissa Tomei. She might have done some stuff since then. It didn't stick. I've been waiting for naked Marissa Tomei since My Cousin Vinny. You gave it to me in The Wrestler. Cut, print, done. And then she's Aunt May, and I'm going, all right, I'm really confused right now. But outside of that, Spider-Man Homecoming was fantastic. Spider-Man Homecoming comes out. I don't even think the movie premiered. And Sony said, we're doing Venom. All right. And then you get Tom Hardy on board. Has Tom Hardy made a bad movie? Tom Hardy's great in almost fucking anything. Even Dark Knight Rises. It was a horrible interpretation of Bane, but even Tom Hardy still rocked that. So, all right, so Tom Hardy is now Eddie Brock. Really interesting because it takes place in Spider-Man's universe without being attached to Spider-Man's universe. It was really interesting because I don't even remember what the hell Michelle Phillips' character's name was.
Oh, shit.
Michelle Phillips' character. His old love interest, fiance, whatever she was. If I had done any real research, I'd have that in front of me. But she mentions you got chased out of New York. Well, that's fucking what happened in Spider-Man's universe. Him and Peter Parker worked in the same city. Shit happens and he's chased. Wait, so is this attached? Is it not? All right, let's go for it. But no, Tom Hardy was really. Here was the only part I didn't like about Venom. The symbiote's a fuck up. Did you notice that? The symbiote says, on my planet, I was a loser, just like you. Kind of depressing. Just a bit. So on Earth, he's a badass. On his planet, he's Joe Dirt. Okay, we'll just keep going. But no, it was okay. Venom was not great. It was cool to see the symbiote up there. It was cool to see Venom. It was cool to see an Eddie Brock that wasn't fucking Eric Foreman from that 70s show. So all the pieces were there of a decent Venom movie. Okay? Execution could have been better, but for the most part, okay. I'm not going to rave about this movie. It wasn't Black Panther. It definitely wasn't Infinity War. But for those people, I've always said there's two kinds of people in any kind of entertainment, whether it be movies, TV. There's your story people, and there's your visual people. Okay, your story people, the plot has to make sense from A to B to C. No plot holes that just throws everything off. The visual people, as long as it looks fucking great, then it was good. Okay? Perfect example of this, The Last Jedi. Story people went, that movie was the drizzling shits. It's fucking horrible from a story point of view. The visual people went, yeah, but it looked awesome. So anyone who says Last Jedi was great, visual people. Same thing with Venom, okay? The movie looked fantastic. The CGI was spot on. I mean, storyline, there was a few hurdles that they didn't quite get over, but the movie looked fucking great. Okay? So outside of that, it was decent. Where are my numbers at? 80 million. 80 million opening weekend. So not great in comparison, but still. But here's where it gets interesting. $213 billion. Now, put that into perspective. Black Panther did $1.3 billion. Venom did $213 billion worldwide. Unless I put that down wrong. Again, I'm not good at note taking. That's why I dropped out of college twice. Homework not my strong point. But $213 billion worldwide. So, which means we're getting a Venom 2. Shit. But, anybody who stuck around for the post-credit scene, did you see it?
Yeah. That was awesome.
For anybody, I'm talking to producer Mike. So, if I'm not talking to myself, producer Mike behind the camera. You had Woody Harrelson as Cletus Cassidy, who's Carnage. Now, Carnage is the Ted Bundy of symbiotes. He really is. He's the fucking Charles Manson of symbiotes, just fucking psychopath. So, and Woody Harrelson, and who see Natural Born Killers, plays a really good fucking psychopath. So, I'm kind of looking forward to Venom 2 being better than 1, but we'll kind of have to see. So, in my opinion, next segment is your main event of 2018. All right? Avengers Infinity War. This was the one people lost their shit. They thought, oh my God, okay. So, again, let's put this into focus. Marvel Studios started in 2008, okay, with Iron Man. All right? Marvel Studios started, cast Robert Downey Jr., and they said, okay, we're doing Iron Man. And nobody actually said this publicly, but they said that, but if Iron Man did not do well, there's no MCU. Everything was on the back of this movie. So when Iron Man 1 takes off, they went into work the next day and they said, fuck it, we're doing Thor, we're doing Hulk, we're doing Captain America, we're doing Avengers, go. So because Iron Man did great 10 years ago, now we have the Marvel Cinematic Universe. We have Thor, we have Hulk, we have Captain America, we have Ant-Man, we have Guardians of the Galaxy, like everything based off this one movie. Now Infinity War comes out and this was the culmination. Fucking 10 years it takes to get to this point. And it did not disappoint. This movie was everything. I just watched it again yesterday on Blu-ray. Because I realized yesterday, I was like, wait, I own this on Blu-ray and I've never seen it. Watch it 3 times in the theaters. I bought the Blu-ray, took the shrink wrap off, put it on my shelf. Never watched it again. I'm like, fuck it, I'm watching it. There was not a bad part of this movie. The writing was great. The Russo brothers directed it perfectly. I mean, everything about this movie was, if you're a comic book fan, this was, you had a stroke if you were a comic book kid. And we all know, you know what I also did a couple weeks ago? I decided to read Infinity Gauntlet.
Nice.
I own it, same thing. I own Infinity Gauntlet, never read the fucking thing. There's a lot of things that just go on my shelf and I forget about them. Oh shit, I break them out like a couple years later. So I read Infinity Gauntlet. Completely different. Because Infinity Gauntlet starts with Thanos killing everybody. That's where the book starts. As we're here, there's nothing in the book about the struggle to get the Infinity Stones. That's what this whole movie was. Excuse me. So, completely different from the book, which was kind of awesome. But everything about this movie was perfect. And you get to the end, Thanos gets that last stone, kills half the universe. And here's where everybody lost their shit. It was fantastic. You cried when Spider-Man died, didn't you? We all did. We all just kind of welled up and... because everyone else just kind of turned to dust. And you hear poor Tom Holland say, Mr. Stark, I don't feel good. And Tony turns around and goes, you're okay. You're okay. And he grabs onto him and he's like, I'm sorry. I don't want to go. I don't want to go. And I'm sitting there just... and Spider-Man dies and the internet lost its collective shit. Like, they were just like, how do they end the movie that way? No. How do you... no. Freaking the fuck out. Here's where you had to pay attention, folks. beginning of 2018, Marvel released its slate of films till 2020. Avengers Infinity War was originally titled Infinity War Part 1. Part 2 was set to come out 2019. Then they realized, Marvel Studios went, we just gave away the ending. Oh, shit. So 2 weeks later, they re-released that slate of films, and it's titled Infinity War Part 1, Avengers 4. Because somebody fucked up and went, uh-oh, if it's a Part 1, that means they know we're, oh, shit. Okay, fuck it, redo it. We're doing it again. So it comes out, and again, people are just losing their shit. They're just like, well, how do they make Spider-Man Far From Home and Black Panther 2, which are scheduled to be released in 2020, if they killed them off? Because they're not fucking dead. Because they're coming back. So I'm kind of a dick. But I laughed when I realized, like, dude, they're not fucking dead. You know Tom Holland's in Australia right now filming his next movie. Like, so, okay. And I think we went over this in All Things Film. Again, talking to producer Mike, not losing my shit. Okay. Yeah. So, the trailer for Avengers Endgame coming out. All right? And a small portion of the MCU, the Marvel fans, threw a temper tantrum. They stomped their feet, they held their breath till they turned blue, and they said, we want a trailer. We want a trailer for Endgame. Year's almost over. Why haven't we seen a trailer? I fucking hate these fans. Not all you fans. All right, if you're watching my show, we're cool. But if you're these guys that threw a temper tantrum, here's what they did. They went to Marvel Studios page on YouTube, and they said, we're going to unlike every video you have until we get a trailer. The fuck? What was that going to do? No, seriously, what was that going to do? We're just going to unlike every fucking video till we get a trailer. We're going to hold your YouTube page hostage. Are you fucking kidding me? So here's what oh God, I love Marvel Studios for this. They went, okay, all right, we'll release a trailer on Monday. Monday comes around, they went, Wednesday, definitely Wednesday. Wednesday comes around, more like Friday, okay? And then when Friday came around, they went, probably won't release it till Monday. No, kidding, here you go, here's the trailer. Dude, it was like a baby daddy just kind of like teasing the child support check. Like, no, I'll give it to you Monday. No, I'll give it to you Wednesday. I'll give it to you. All right, fine, fuck, here it is. Like, I died. I laughed so hard. Marvel trolled their own fans. It's fucking awesome. So, anyway, going back to the numbers. Infinity War, $257 million opening weekend. $257 million. Worldwide, to this day, worldwide, $678 billion. Now, to put this into perspective, Infinity War made enough worldwide to fund 12 of Donald Trump's walls. Think about that for a second. Fucking died. Oh, so anyway, but yeah, $670 billion worldwide. So to say this movie is a success, slight understatement, just a bit. So, but we're going to be there. I want to, okay, if I can pull this off, no promises. I want to do maybe an advanced review. I have a few friends who are managing theaters here in town. Maybe, if I ask nicely, they'll let me in to watch it before. I'll pay, but maybe I can give you a review before it comes out. No promises. All right, last one on the bill today. Deadpool 2. All right? Now, This one, kind of biased on this. Ryan Reynolds, Josh Brolin. This was the movie that, well, the franchise that wasn't supposed to work. They actually pitched a Deadpool movie 10 years ago. And studios went, no, that character's not going to work. Too violent. There's no such thing as an R-rated superhero movie, if you don't count Blade back in 96. It's not going to work. So they canned the project. And Ryan Reynolds just said no. He loved this comic and he wanted to do this. So they cast him as Wade Wilson in that piece of shit X-Men Origins Wolverine movie. Fucking horrible. Okay? But he was Wade Wilson in that movie. And they just destroyed that character. And Ryan Reynolds said, fuck this. I want to redo it. And he's the one who actually kept championing this. I can get, words are hard. Championing this project, okay? And he actually, I found this out. The reason he wants to play this character so badly was somebody gave him a bunch of comics, a bunch of Deadpool comics. And one of them was a Deadpool and Cable comic. And so he's flipping through it, and there's a line in here where Wade Wilson doesn't have his mask on, and he says something along the lines of, look at me. I look like a cross between Ryan Reynolds and a Shar-Pei. And Ryan Reynolds is reading this going, the fuck? Like, so he felt he was destined to play this character. And so he starts hitting executives up, and nobody wants anything to do with this. They gave him like $3 million, $4 million to shoot kind of a trailer, okay? And the scene in the first movie where Deadpool's falling down off the interstate into the SUV, starts kicking everyone's ass, that was actually their teaser trailer for this movie. And executives went, oh, we can do this. So that's how this, oh, actually, no, they didn't. Executives said, no, we can't do this. It's too violent. So somebody leaked the footage on the internet. And fans went, this is some cool shit. When is this movie coming out? And so Fox executives went, oh, I guess we better make this movie. Okay, I guess we can do this. Yeah, we can. All right, guys, let's do this. So what happened was, this is one time where fan support on the internet led to something happening. Any other time doesn't lead to shit. Hey, is Last Jedi still part of Star Wars canon?
I think so.
Yeah, which means that petition didn't lead to shit. So, hey, is Wonder Woman bisexual yet?
I hope so. No?
She was in the first movie.
What?
Yeah, she flat out said, she tells Steve Rogers that, oh, we've never needed men basically says we've never needed men for sexual pleasure.
I really wish I would have caught that line.
Yeah, they're in the boat. They're in the boat. They're going to England. It's a throwaway line, but Wonder Woman's bisexual. So, what do people do? They petition for her to be bisexual in the sequel. Can you be more bisexual than bisexual? Is that? That'll be our next show. But, so yeah, the fans petition for a bunch of shit. Never happens. Deadpool's the one time it happened. All right. So, now we have the sequel. All right. The director, they fired him. Ryan Reynolds said, no, this is what worked in the first one. The director said, okay, I get that, but I want to make it more closer to the comics. Ryan Reynolds said, no, I want to make it more jokes, more fourth wall breaking. The director said, it's not going to work. Ryan Reynolds said, fuck you, you're fired. And they went and got one of the directors from John Wick. Matt Leach?
Yeah.
I think, yeah. And so, here's Deadpool 2. All right? Saw this movie. I laughed hysterically. I thought it was just as good as the first one. All right? Anybody says, it wasn't as good. Fuck you. Because here's why. And I'll say it about Iron Man 2. I'll say it about Thor 2. I'll say about any sequel. When you start a movie property, okay, that no one's ever seen before, there's no expectation. All right? Nobody knew Iron Man was going to be a hit. Nobody knew that Deadpool was going to be a hit. So it comes out and everyone's like, dude, that was fucking great. Your second one comes out and it meets the same expectation. It meets the same thing. But people say, well, didn't fucking knock my socks off. It wasn't any good. No, it's because you knew how good the first one was and you were expecting it to be better than that. Instead of being as good as the first one was, you wanted it to be better. No, it was just as good, but you thought it should be better. Doesn't mean it was a bad movie. Okay, Deadpool 2, same thing. I thought you had the same jokes, okay, and the jokes still landed. You had the same fourth wall breaking. You had the most ridiculous music choices ever, which I thought were fucking great because it's Deadpool, all right? Second time I saw this movie, I was drunk as shit. Deadpool 2 is much better when you're hammered. I was at a theater in Chicago. I was there for work. They let us off early. It was a theater across the street. And it was one of the new theaters that serves alcohol. I say new because I live in Bakersfield and we're fucking back assward. We're just getting those now. And I went, oh, what's that? It's a drink about that big. It was blue. It's called a Smuggler for the Han Solo movie. I said, I'll have one of those. I finish it. I'll have another one of those. Finish that one. Give me three. I almost saw three. I had 6 Smugglers. Now, a Smuggler is basically an adios motherfucker. I had 5 or 6 of them. I don't remember. I remember Deadpool being funnier than shit. So, yeah, if you're going to see Deadpool 2, see it drunk. Now, going back to the numbers. Opening weekend, $125 million. I should have done my homework and find out what the first one did. Probably would let you know. Box Office Mojo. That's where I get all my shit. Total gross to this day, $320 million. Billion, excuse me, 300 with a B. $324 billion worldwide. And I believe that includes Once Upon a Time, what the fuck is that movie called? Once Upon a Deadpool?
Oh, yeah.
The Christmas one that just came out. I'm sorry. I've been awake for like 2 hours, folks. I'm sorry. Hence the, yeah.
The first one, the
opening weekend.
Final, I'm not seeing it. Oh, there we go. Opening weekend is...
Opening weekend for Deadpool. First Deadpool movie was...
Why is it only giving me the total?
This is our first show, folks, so I'm throwing curveballs at producer Mike right now.
No, it's only giving me the total.
Oh, you bastard. Okay.
Wait, opening weekend, 132 million.
Okay, so basically, Deadpool 2 missed it by $6 million. So, for all intents and purposes, they had the exact same opening weekend.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, now, here's where Deadpool gets really fun. And I'm going to be the one to say this. I'm that dick that goes, yeah, I don't really like Ryan Reynolds. Because I don't. I didn't. Let's say that. Ryan Reynolds, to me, was Seth Rogen. He's really good in an ensemble cast, but you give him his own movie and you're going... So, like, Van Wilder, he's fine. Waiting, okay, he's cool. Green Lantern, sucked a bag of dicks. And you know what? I'm not going to blame him for that one. The writing on that was fucking horrible. But for the most part, Blade Trinity, that was his audition to be Wade Wilson. Go watch that movie. He's fucking Wade Wilson through the whole movie. So Ryan Reynolds is Ryan Reynolds. He's that actor. He's the Vince Vaughn. He's the Shia LaBeouf. He's that actor that plays himself in every movie. Okay? Except, have you seen Amityville Horror?
Yeah.
And he's great in Amityville Horror.
I really like that one. I know people give it shit, but I like it.
He's so un-Ryan Reynolds in that movie. I think that's what makes it creepy.
Creepy as fuck.
Yeah, if you ever want to, that's my favorite Ryan Reynolds movie is Amityville Horror. Because he is so Ryan Reynolds. The most Ryan Reynolds thing he does in that is he doesn't have a shirt on. for like half the movie. That's a Ryan Reynolds thing. Like no shirt on for half the movie. But if I was built like Ryan Reynolds, I wouldn't own a shirt.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Fuck it.
Actually, that movie was
Pretty much, yeah.
the scariest part is how good his abs were.
Exactly. He was killing people with his abs.
Could've-
But so I'm not a big Ryan Reynolds fan because he just plays himself in everything he does. Okay. Deadpool comes out, takes an actor I'm not crazy about, and a comic book character I fucking hate Deadpool. I really did in the comics. It was fucking irritating. I hated the fourth wall breaking. It irritated the shit out of me. Okay? Fox says, okay, we're gonna put these two together. And it was genius. It was fucking great. I'm not gonna lie. I laughed my ass off the entire fucking movie, and I went, all right, redeemed. Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool are fucking redeemed. And the thing is, he lives the gimmick. Have you seen the YouTube footage of Hugh Jackman? He's in a hotel room, and he's on his phone. He's FaceTiming, and then he turns, and Ryan Reynolds is sitting on the bed in full Deadpool costume.
Oh God.
Fucking great.
Jesus.
And I'm just going, okay, all right, I'm starting to warm up to this shit. They filmed for this movie. They filmed Celine Dion does the song for the opening credits. Ryan Reynolds films a Celine Dion music video in the full Deadpool outfit. Fucking hysterical. And he actually answers tweets as Deadpool, as Wade Wilson. It's fucking awesome. Because this woman tweeted at the, I don't know if she did tweeted at the studio or if it was at Deadpool movie or what, but something along the lines of, I'm never going to take my kids to see this movie until you take out all the sex and violence. And he said something like, well, I'm sorry to hear that, Hobag. Have a good weekend. All right, this guy's won me over. This guy has won me over. And here's how much he's won me over. Producer Mike knows this story. 2 months ago, for those of you who watched Schedule for One Fall, I'm a pro wrestler. I've been a pro wrestler 15 years. 2 months ago, that promoter comes to me and says, hey, we have a new sponsor. The sponsor has 2 Spanish radio stations. So we're launching an offshoot Lucha Libre promotion. Okay? And they said, we want to bring you in, but we want to put you under a mask and bring you as a totally new character. You don't see a problem with this? A, my Spanish sucks. I'm a horrible Mexican. B, I've never worked Lucha Libre style. It's a completely different style than American wrestling. Folks, you have American wrestling, you have Japanese wrestling, you have European wrestling, you have Mexican wrestling. They all have their different psychologies. They all have their different protocols. They all, I know American wrestling. I've never wrestled in Mexico, Japan, Europe, ever. So I'm starting to freak the fuck out because I'm going, I don't know Lucha Libre style. Okay? Your third problem, I have tattoos. You can't just put me under a mask and say, brand new character, folks. He's never been here before. Okay? So those of you who know this is where this is going, I said, all right, what are your ideas? Oh, we hadn't thought that far yet. And they asked me, I said, do you have any ideas? Give me a day. Give me a day. I get back to him the next day and I said, all right, I want you to go with me on this. I have to be under a mask, full bodysuit, and I have to pretend to be somebody that they've never seen before. Deadpool. So I am now a wrestling Deadpool character. I have stolen so many fucking ideas from these movies and from the comics. And they came back at me and they said, bro, we love the idea. It's fantastic. But we'll get sued. And I went, no, we won't, because I'm not Deadpool. I'm D.P. Wilson. It is now a parody, and parody's protected by the First Amendment. They can't sue us. And the promoter went, That's doable. We can do this. So, I've debuted the DP Wilson character. And so, and it's gotten over huge. And the greatest thing is now I go out and I'm doing this character and I'm thinking, what is the most fucking ridiculous thing I can do? And up to this point, most ridiculous thing I can do, I have a unicorn that poops Deadpool masks. Because why the fuck not? So, because of Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool 2, I now have a new wrestling career. Which is why we saved this story for last. So, all right, folks. So that is our first Ninja Nerd Warrior show. We're still working out bugs and ideas, stuff like that. But if you have any suggestions, things that you want me to cover, if you have any comments, send them our way and we'll address them. All right? And I guess this is where I do my plugs, huh? I'm horrible at this. But anyway, I'll get better. I promise. You can look me up at Ninja Nerd Warrior on almost any fucking social media platform. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. This show will start getting posted on YouTube along with the Wasp Nest Videos page, so you can check out these shows. Hopefully, what I want to do, I've already run the idea past producer Mike, and this show is actually going to be turned into an audio podcast as well. And as soon as we find a place to host those, because I do know I've just been lazy. It's part of the reason I'm doing this. I crank out a podcast once every month, but if I have the Wasp Nest guys to answer to, now I have to do these more often. So that's why you're basically my boss now. So yeah, so you can contact me anywhere: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Head on out there, subscribe, like, say hi. If you tell me I suck, I'm probably gonna block you. But anyway, I also do stand-up comedy here in town. So any of the open mics, we have Jerry's Pizza on Tuesdays, hosted by Eddie Molina and Landon Webb. We have Wednesday at Timber Brewing Company, hosted by Chris Flail, and Thursday at the Rocket Shop Cafe, hosted by Daniel Betts. So come out to any and all of those. Support Bakersfield Comedy if you're in the area. And that's pretty much everywhere you're going to find me. You can also find me, I'll wrestle for Sencal Professional Wrestling out of San Luis Obispo and Planet Lucha. If you want to see DP Wilson, come out to the Planet Lucha shows in Santa Maria. That is our first show. So hopefully it went well. I know I sound like a rambling lunatic, but I've gotten 3 hours of sleep and I have 2 of these in my system. So next one will probably be a little more coherent. Anyway, guys, that's it for today. See you next time.